Hi guys. So I am seeing a physiotherapist at my house again today. I'm just relaxing because it's been an absolute manic week here. So well, it usually is manic, but anyway, you'll have to excuse me. My hair's still wet from last night because I tie it up. It stays wet. So I'm sorry about that, guys. Basically, I saw the story goes, and I'm going to tell you briefly. So I saw I have health problems, and the NHS is bad in this country. It's also postcode lottery from the north compared to the south. I know that to be true, even though, yeah, there might be some places where it doesn't apply, but overall. So, anyway, the town that I live in is becoming a very deserted town. It's not good, and there isn't a lot here. So, basically, it's been going this way before the NHS ended up on its knees. Our town, the care you get with all of the system, it just doesn't exist. You have to go to other cities and towns that are nearby, or you just don't get it. And when you do get it, when there is something available, if you're lucky, then it's substandard. It's not fit for purpose, and it's worse now than ever. So I had a struggle, and if you follow me for a while, I've got health problems, various different types. So that sounds strange to say, but anyway, um, basically, I the system wouldn't help me with that. This is just going to like the part where I need to see a physiotherapist. This is not the part when I've seen other consultants and other issues. So this is just the physiotherapist side of things. So they wouldn't help me with that. And at all, in fact, they won't even consider me. The first time I saw a physiotherapist, I was advised to go to one, went to a clinic. That's what they have. They've changed the clinics now in the last year, it seems. And she said, I don't know what you want us to do for you. She said, I don't know what we can do. As soon as she looked at me, I tried to explain what was going off. She didn't seem like she was that bothered about listening. She was young. I don't know if she was inexperienced. I mean, some of the older ones are just stubborn. And she just said, sorry about that. If you come back in 6 weeks, we'll see if there's anything we can do. Charming. So that left me completely deflated. I've known worse, far, far worse. I'm not exaggerating. It's infuriating, but that's, like I said, a different day. So I said, well, let's hope there's something he can do. They said, we'll send. I said, how will I know? Because I always check. I know what the system is like, especially in the area that we live in. Oh, we'll let you know. We'll let you know in about 6 weeks. Nothing. And I gave up. I didn't think it'd help me. I was at a time where I just couldn't even fight. My mental state was so much worse than it is now because of what I've been through for such a long time. So I left it. I felt defeated. It was normal. Somebody else didn't want me. So I went to a chiropractor back in 2024, if I remember rightly, in February. We had to pay privately because my son went. Although I have health problems, he doesn't. He ended up with some problems in his spine and other parts of his body, hips and stuff, through his work. So he went and paid privately. So I thought, well, it's expensive. We can't really afford it, but we're going to have to scrape some money together and see if maybe I only need 3 or 4 sessions. Sorry, you probably hear my hip going, and that did go. So, sorry guys, I think all this chatting, I've tried to make this video, and some days my heart rate's up more than others. So, also, sorry. Anyway, I wasn't feeling too good at that time, but I'm trying to get back on track now. So I went to chiropractor. I only went twice, but anyway, I know it was different to my son. I went for a different reason. So I did actually explain to him that I've got health problems. He went into it. It was very good. Way better. If ever we've seen anyone, we haven't paid privately for treatment, but we've tried. And if ever we've seen anyone, it's completely different, guys, to the NHS. What you used to get on the NHS when I was a child and a teenager, up until probably my early 20s, like 2023, is what you now get only if you pay privately. It has regressed so much. So anyway, it was just like the olden days, going to chiropractor. Obviously, you can't get it in the UK. Anybody who's in the UK knows you could only pay privately to see a chiropractor. You can't get anything on the NHS like that. This is why we do it. So my knee, the story goes that the physiotherapist, if I get the words outside of things, is for my muscles and my joints mainly. So he had an assistant that massaged me. She even rubbed creams in. It was lovely. Something you will not get on. I mean, they're they accommodate you so much in a way you will not get on the NHS in this country. And because my body was seizing up that February and I was really scared, this is before they sent me to the first physiotherapist. So, like I said, they wouldn't help me. They sent me to the clinic, remember, but they refused to help me, basically dropped me, didn't do anything about it. So, anyway, that didn't work with a physiotherapist. It made my knee worse. I hurt my knee. I injured it just from turning over. My body was seizing up. Sometimes that's all it takes. You heard my hip go just then, probably. You've probably heard it on video. Sometimes it's bad. Sometimes it's just as it is normally. And it's when the chiropractor, he tried to tailor make it to the issues I had, and it didn't make my other joints worse. He was a lot more gentle and played it down for me, but it made my leg worse. Now, my leg was that bad that when I turned over in bed, I don't know what I did, but I think it's because my body was just, if I do too little, my body seizes up. It seizes up where I can barely move at all. So I've got to do something. If I do too much, it makes me worse. My body dislocates in this way. My joints burn and hurt. My muscles feel like they're going to tear. So my body doesn't adapt to it like a healthy body, and it doesn't get better and better each time. It hasn't been like that since before this hit me. So anyway, with that in mind, when I rolled over, the top part of my leg it was almost hanging off from the knee down, the other part of my leg from the knee up, and it affected my hip and right down to my toes, so from my hip to my toes. So anyway, it's never been the same since. So that's why I went to chiropractor, and I tried to go to the first physiotherapist clinic. So the chiropractor made it worse. It was really bad. I mean, I had to call an ambulance out. It was that bad, but I won't go into that. And after 2 times of struggling to pay for it and feeling like it had got worse, and there's no way I could go back. So I thought, I'm going to try and go back to doctors again, see if anything's changed whatsoever. There were a couple of new doctors at the surgery that I go to, a lot better. So they said, right, they couldn't believe what I've had to go through. They were actually great. It was a younger one, so she was lovely. She said, let's get you some proper care. Let's get you sent off to do. So she tried to help me with a few things, a few tests and stuff that they wouldn't do and stuff like that. They weren't good with. And she got me a physiotherapist. Physiotherapist turned out to be a mum at my son's school. We got on like friends. I only saw her for about 4 or 5 months. In fact, probably nearer to 4. Then the last time I had my session with her, the very last one, was September, a few months ago in 2024. I was very upset because my mental state, I was still trying to make it better at that time. I was very, very lonely, as I still am. I didn't have any friends or many at all, and I saw her as a friend. I really wanted to talk to her, so we got on really well, actually. She was a lovely physiotherapist. I'm not going to say a name. Anyway, things have progressed on, and I've ended up having, I think the cold is making my joints worse. I've never had that problem until this winter. At least if I have, I've never noticed it that much until this winter, particularly with my knee. It's never been the same since. I've had x-rays. I've had too many. I don't want that many. I try and refuse them. So they've checked, but the first physiotherapist said that sometimes I needed to go back to my doctor because sometimes things will show up in my knee that they don't show, up in the x-rays. So she kept saying, look, just go back, have you gone back, and all this sort of thing. She said, I can't go any further without making you worse. So I've gone back with her advice because it's just got worse and worse, especially my knee. It's just never been the same. So they don't want to do anything. I didn't want an operation, I didn't want anything serious. I was getting worried about it. It was getting extremely bad to the point where I was lucky if I could move my leg at all sometimes. And, the pain, I'm not really good with painkillers. Shouldn't have too many if you're underweight anyway. So, it's just been difficult. But I took her advice and they've sent me back again, even though I saw the clinic and the physiotherapist consultant at the clinic again. All they've done is sent me back to physiotherapist. So she's coming today to see if anything she can do. I'm not sure. But the first physiotherapist was lovely and gave me like a little sort of stretchy tool that I think you can buy them online. But she said you can have it. So she was amazing. So I was trying to use certain things that I got to help my muscles, but I haven't needed them for a while. So it's difficult because my body fights against me trying to move, but if I don't, I completely seize up. It's scary, but if I do more than my body allows, it goes the opposite way. So let's see what she can do for me, guys. I can't remember what time she's coming, but I know she's coming today. Bye, guys.